This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you, and wow, the inflation numbers just came out, 9.1%, a lot worse than expected. I'll give you more details on that. And as a recession nears, economists are saying that more stimulus is needed. And in terms of stimulus checks, we'll talk about the $1,000 stimulus checks, $500 stimulus checks, and Mexico comes up with a unique solution to help out America's gas problem. Buy cheaper gas from Mexico. I'll give you more details on that as President Biden met with the president of Mexico. Also, I'll give you the Republican perspective of the Build Back Better, what's going on with that, and a few other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So inflation rose 9.1% in June, even more than expected as price pressures intensify. This is not looking good, so they did not think it was going to go up this high. They thought it was going to be an estimate of 8.8%, and it's up to 9.1%. This is crazy. Take a look at this video clip right here explaining more.
The estimates again, the CPI expected to be up 1.1% month over month. Year over year, we're expecting a gain of 8.8%, and these are the June numbers. And Cheryl Casoni is on it right now, waiting on these numbers to see a market move. Over to you, Cheryl.
Wow, 9.1% year over year, much hotter than expected. Everybody. 1981, November 1981 is the last time that we have seen an inflationary number this high for CPI. Again, 9.1%. There you go, folks. That is the big story here. Now, let's go to that month over month. If you strip out food and energy, let me give you the annual year over year. That's higher than expected, too, the core. Not that we care about that because it's all gas and food, but even the core number coming in hotter than expected at 5.9%. We were only looking for 5.7% on the core. Again, strong numbers. Gasoline, a jump of 11.2%. New vehicles, a jump of 0.7%. Energy, 7.5% jump. Again, these are very, very hot numbers. Let's dig into the report. 1.3% is a 17-year high. That month over month of 1.3%, that is a 17-year high. Now let me get into this because I know we want to look at shelter, we want to look at energy, we want to look at airfares. All of that information is in the report. Okay, first, let's give this. Here's what the Labor Department is saying. Everything was broad-based. Gasoline, shelter, and food were the largest contributors to this report. Energy index I gave you, 7.5% jump over the month. That was half of all items. The gas index alone rose 11.2%. Other major components were also rising. The food index rose 1% in June, as did the food at home index. That's a month over month number. But one thing I like to do is go through and look at the annual pieces of all of this, okay? Food year over year in total, a jump of 10.4%. That's year over year. Food away from home, that's what you're paying at restaurants year over year. That's a gain of 12.2%. Energy year over year, we're still at these strong numbers, 41.6%, folks. And then as far as energy commodities, 60.6%. One more strong number I'm going to give you here is that utilities, gas utilities, 38% jump year over year. New vehicles, 11.4% year over year. So again, folks, we are looking at a very strong report. Again, that shelter number, 5.6% was the jump year over year. And Maria, I know you always look at shelter because people are feeling this. That even month to month was a jump of 0.6%, folks. So again, these are very, very strong numbers we are getting from the Labor Department and CPI. Again, 9.1%, and that is the biggest jump that we have seen, again, since this is a fresh 40-year high. Obviously, November 1981, but this is a fresh 40-year high. And I'm sending it back to you, but
just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, wow, 9.1%. That is so crazy. Inflation runs hotter in June as U.S. faces recession risk. We are basically jumping off the cliff into a recession. Some are saying recession is already here. Looks like a recession at this point is almost inevitable. Stimulus update: when a recession arrives, economists say more stimulus is the answer. So looking back, American people received stimulus checks both during 2001 and 2008 recessions. According to economists, stimulus checks help blunt the impact of recession, and the faster businesses get back on their feet, the faster a recession can end, and stimulus checks make that happen. So economists are saying that there should be more stimulus checks, both under President Bush and President Obama. Stimulus checks were given during the 2001 and the 2008 recession. So if a recession happens, looks like we would probably get more stimulus checks. But at this point, since not an official recession yet, we're getting state stimulus checks instead. So surprise new tax rebate worth up to $1,000 will give millions of Americans permanent cash relief if passed. So this is in Missouri. A one-time tax payment would have happened. What was it? $500 for individuals making less than $150,000, $1,000 for joint filers making less than $300,000. So this passed in the state actually for Missouri on May 6th, but then it was struck down by the governor, basically saying he does not want a one-time thing. He wants a permanent tax relief in Missouri. So still questionable whether it's going to be a $500/$1,000 stimulus check there. And then Americans in line to get up to $500 in tax rebates under new plan. Are you one of the millions that would qualify? So this is in Georgia. So Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams has revealed a proposal that would give up to $500 in tax rebates to residents. So Stacey Abrams running for governor. I guess another $500 checks could go to Georgians if she wins, which is kind of the same strategy that the Democrats used with the $2,000 stimulus checks to get the Senate seats for the runoff race. So it could happen again. And then Mexico president invites Americans to buy cheaper gas in his country. So basically, President Biden and the Mexican president met up in the Oval Office, spoke about a few different things, migration, all that. But one of the things was for the U.S. to buy cheaper gas. Take a look at the reaction to that right here.
President Biden meets with Mexico's President Lopez Obrador later this morning. Senator Ted Cruz is with us. Mr. Senator, we hear that President Obrador has an anti-inflation plan for America. What's going on here, Senator?
Well, unfortunately, the Biden White House is in chaos. It's in crisis. And one of the consequences, we're seeing AMLO, the leader of Mexico, moving further and further left, moving more and more in an anti-American posture, and sadly driven there by Joe Biden. You know, it says something that when Donald Trump was president, AMLO was willing to work with the United States to secure our southern border. Now that Joe Biden is president, it is open borders, and that chaos that is inflicted on my home state of Texas and the entire country, it's continuing unabated because that's what the Biden White House wants.
So not sure if that was meant to be taken seriously about buying cheaper gas from Mexico, but that's what came out of the meeting. When it comes to the Build Back Better and Manchin and what's going on with that, House centrist Manchin counteroffer no new taxes. So Joe Manchin still going back and forth, doesn't want any new taxes. So basically, any attempt to modify a deal that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer may reach with Senator Joe Manchin could scuttle the entire package that could deprive President Biden and vulnerable lawmakers a pre-election win at a time of real weakness. So basically, what's going on here is Manchin has been adamant he wants higher taxes on corporations to bring down the deficit and help fight inflation. For months, his shorthand has been a 2-to-1 ratio of fresh revenues to new spending, with some $500 billion going to deficit reduction. But early House discussions led by Gottheimer don't envision any new taxes on corporations or wealthy individuals. The Trump tax cuts on corporations and individuals would remain in place. So basically what's going on here is, as Schumer and Manchin are talking about things, the House is trying to figure out their own plan and how to satisfy Manchin. Seems like it just keeps going on, but take a look at this video clip right here, giving the Republican perspective of the Build Back Better.
And to be clear, this is a skinny version of Build Back Better, which did not pass, right? It did not pass because of the state of the economic environment, the inflation, as you mentioned, more spending, only going to make that worse. And, you know, a trillion is still pretty significant. Having said that.
It's not skinny, Jackie.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. I mean, it's when they say $1 trillion became skinny. I mean, these guys are, what they're talking about is spending $1 trillion and raising taxes on every income bracket in this country and killing our small businesses. This makes no sense at all.
And small business, to your point, is the backbone of the nation, if you will. And that's the middle class. Those are the people that President Biden said that he would protect. So that's not happening. But the other thing that I want to, you know, bring up in this conversation as well is the last time we saw a similar sort of situation to this. You saw Paul Volcker. He raised the rates. He was trying to tame inflation that was out of control. You had a President, Ronald Reagan. He cut taxes to help the economy. This president wants to raise taxes. It doesn't make sense.
No, cut taxes, reduce regulation. We should be energy independent, buy American, fix the supply chain. That's how, if you want to get this economy going, that's what you ought to be doing. That's what I did as governor. I cut taxes and fees 100 times. I cut 20% of the regulations in Florida. We went from a state that lost 800,000 jobs the 4 years before I became governor in 2011 to adding 1.7 million jobs. Everybody is in better shape when you have jobs. It's simple.
Just want to ask you about a recent trip that you took to Asia as well, Senator. Tell us a little bit about it. You were trying to strengthen ties with our allies.
Absolutely. I went to South Korea. There I met with business leaders, elected leaders, and our military. I then went to Tokyo. Did the same thing there. Met with our Navy there, and then I went to Taiwan. What we've got to do is we got to continue to build our economic interests there, and we got to continue to build our national security interests there. These are countries, are in the case of Taiwan, a democracy that's trying to make sure they're independent from communist China. Communist China. They want to dominate the world, especially that region.
What are your thoughts on that? So in today's video, it's mainly from the Republican perspective. So it's actually almost no Democrats talking about these issues, where the Democrats are speaking, giving interviews, or talking about other political issues. But since I like to give these economic issues, stimulus updates and all of that, this is mainly just coming from the Republicans for now. But anyways, that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something what you should always do. So like when you want to do something, do it. Like if you want to go out in outer space, do it. If you want to say something, do it. Say whatever you want and do whatever you want. And make it excitement. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time, all of your support. It means a lot to me that you keep showing up and watching, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, you can check out my latest Wise Buys video, which is my product review channel. Click the link up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.